Hey everybody, it's the coach, and this is Madden 20 on EA Sports. Straight ahead, we've got a good one in store between the Houston Oilers and the Jacksonville Jaguars. With that, let's get on up to Jacksonville. Standing by for the call, it's our broadcast team of Brandon Godden and Charles Davis.
Thanks, Coach. Originally opened in 1995 as Jacksonville Municipal Stadium when his franchise entered the NFL. We welcome you to Jacksonville and TIAA Bank Field. Nothing like the fanfare of introductions to an NFL game, and that was in evidence a moment ago. Fireworks, pyrotechnics, you name it. This crowd is ready as their guys get set to match up between the Houston Oilers and the Jacksonville Jaguars. With Charles Davis, as always, I'm Brandon Godden. Charles, you talked about storylines in this one. I think it begins and ends with our two quarterbacks, certainly two of the best in the business.
And nowadays, I don't think you can get by for long periods of time without a top-flight quarterback. The way the game is played, with all the responsibility he has and how the game flows through him, if he's not on the top of his game, your team's not going to benefit at all.
The calendar has turned to December, and we're in the home stretch now as we're underway in Week 13. This one taken just inside the 10. And he'll take this across the 25, a couple extra yards up to the 27-yard line. So here's the first drive now for the Jags. And here's a look at their leader, standing 6'4".
It's pretty much become the norm when we see guys come out before a game and go through the route tree with their receivers. I thought it was exciting for us to see the exact same thing happen in practice.
He's so meticulous, isn't he?
He really is, and that tells me it's not just a one-time-a-week thing. They work on it all the time, trying to hone that fine edge.
And Marino cannot get away. He goes down. A bad start there. A big loss on their first play from scrimmage. It's second down.
Well, we knew coming in it was going to be a long afternoon if they weren't able to hold up against this pass rush, huh?
What we didn't know was that protection was going to spring a leak on the first play from scrimmage.
Got after him right out of the gate.
Now, following the sack, they'll look to make amends on a second down and 17. Now, handoff here to his running back. Fights forward for only about a yard up to the 21. And the offensive unit now for the Jaguars.
And the play of this offensive line is going to be so important in this game because we saw the sack a minute or so ago. They've got to be able to give their guy time to throw. That means communication and being physical is vital. Otherwise, this could be a long game.
Now Marino operating the third and long. And he's got it. Got his man on the end route. Complete. And he's going to be stopped here a few yards short of the first as the tackle is made at the 33.
And after that completion, you can understand why so many teams in the league are emphasizing speed on defense at every position. The tight ends have created so many tough matchups now. If you can't run with a tight end as a linebacker, this is going to be the result every time.
And the Jaguars send out their punter. He'll kick it away after a 3-and-out on the opening drive of the game. They only punted twice in the win last week as he gets this one away. So now we get a look at the other offensive unit as they come out for their first possession. And leading them, Charles, their quarterback, their field general.
And what I'm looking for from him today, the things every quarterback is looking to do. Lead his team to a victory. Doesn't matter whether he's throwing it, running it, handing it off, however he has to do it, as well as exhibiting some leadership. That's what he's trying to accomplish.
Well, a throw right side taken in here to start this drive. That one goes for 24 yards.
There's so many things to watch for when you play defense, and reading your keys. You always hear about that, and having your eyes in the right place. Sometimes your eyes can fool you. How about that play action there? And it sprang the big guy, didn't it?
Able to dump it over the top to him. Took just one play to move all the way to the 44 as they try again on first down. They'll give to the big man, Campbell. And taking it across midfield and inside the 45. They give him 13 yards there on the play and a fresh set of downs. But no slow start here. A couple nice chunk plays back-to-back.
I love the momentum that they're showing here early because they did it both ways, right? Threw the ball on first down for a nice chunk of yardage. Came right back and ran the ball. Looks like they got the defense set back on their heels. Let's see if they can keep this moving.
Running game working. They'll stick with it on first down. And this will leave them a yard short. Nice pickup of 9 yards on first down. North of 100 yards, the 2 scores. And, you got to give a lot of credit to the O-line. We talked a lot about him, but offensive line was good, too.
They're obviously in sync with each other, whether it's zone blocking, power running game, no matter what. He understands how to read them and find the creases that they provide.
This one taken in by Hester. And he's out of bounds. Almost gets to the 10. 23 yards the pickup there. They're piecing together a nice drive to start this one. Seems pretty scripted and pretty successful so far.
And I think they did it without our help. Because you remember when we sat in the production meeting with them to talk about this. And, hey, how you guys going to come out of the gate? I know I offered my help with a few plays, and they didn't seem to want it.
Offer mine.
You were the smart one. Whatever they're doing, though, it's working really well.
They'll run on first down. It's Campbell. And he's going to be brought down just shy of the 5 at the 6. 5 yards on the carry. Good pickup on first down. And let's look here at the Houston offense.
And the big key is going to be how can these wideouts create separation from the defensive backs? Because we've seen some early success in the passing game in this one, and that's going to need to continue.
On second down, it's Campbell. And he is met quickly in the backfield. Down he goes, folded like a lawn chair. It's a loss of 2, now third down. He's hit pay dirt a lot this year, but not that time.
Yeah, I'm tracking right there with you. Right, he's found the end zone plenty of times. No way I can find any fault with the call. He may not have scored there. Of course you're going to give it to him.
On third down, Campbell. And they'll get him down here at about the 5-yard line. Down a gain of 3, and it'll bring up fourth down. For the field goal try. This is a fairly straightforward 22-yard short attempt. And the 12-year veteran knocks it right through. And that'll make it 3-0 here in the first. Well, after marching down the field, only getting 3 there, kind of feels like a win for the defense.
And it does. They'll go to the sideline feeling a lot better that they didn't give up a touchdown after the march against them. But if I were the offense, I wouldn't hang my head over that one. That's a good drive, and 3 points were put on the board.
This one fielded at the 5. And he'll take this across the 25. A couple extra yards up to the 27-yard line. And out now comes Jacksonville as they get ready to go. And on the first drive, 3 and out. And I know that these are professional athletes, but I would imagine sometimes you get the nerves at the beginning of a game still, don't you?
Those don't ever go away. And typically, what I've heard from guys and what I remember from playing, if you don't have nerves at the start of a game, it's not going to be a great day for you. You're not really ready to play. So finding a way to harness those nerves and not let them affect you in a negative way, that's what all the guys are looking for.
A look there at the starters on the defensive side of the ball. They were terrific a week ago in that victory over Tampa Bay, Charles.
Have to admit, I was extremely impressed by what I saw. They ended up getting 4 sacks in the game, stayed in the face of the quarterback the entire time, made it difficult for him to step up and find receivers downfield.
And that's what they told us this week. That pressure on the QB is key. Marino's second down throw incomplete. After an incomplete pass on second down, that'll leave him trying to convert on 3rd and 9. And a quick throw here, that's complete. The completion there winds up a wash, and it'll bring up 4th down.
Well, the good thing about covering any game I do with you is I know that there's no problem with rhythm. Now, what we're watching offensively, a little bit of a problem there.
Yeah, punt on the first drive, looking at another one here. Just a little slow. You know, they were talking about a fast start, but that hasn't been the case.
Yeah, and let's face it, any team we cover always talks about a fast start.
That's true.
But it's not necessarily going to happen just because they say so. And whether it's the script, whether it's, just what they're going through, whether they're seeing different defenses, they're going to have to figure it out as this game moves on.
A look at the running back, the man out of the backfield as he gears up to go again. Last week, a strong showing, up over 100, also 2 trips to the end zone.
It's the kind of week that if you said, listen, I'll let you have this type of a game each and every week, you'd sign up for it. You wouldn't try and get too greedy. But let's face it, good runners always want to be a little bit more greedy at the end, try and squeeze out every last yard. He's going to try to duplicate that and exceed it in this game.
Kendall Fuller in on the stop. Time for a look at our starters here on defense. Right now they're ranked number 29 in the NFL against the pass, so 4th from the bottom, Charles.
And when you're getting ready to face the number 1 overall offense in the NFL, it does not matter where you rank defensively because you got your hands full. You don't know what you're going to face, but you know that that's a strong unit that you're getting ready for.
And he's able to get out to the 32, brought down there. 7 yards there and a first down. From the 32 now, here's 1st and 10. Looking to throw. And he will find his man on the outside.
Let's go.
Call that a gain of 11.
A gain of 11 on the play. First down, Houston.
On first down, they drop to throw. Looking left side, he's got it. Complete. And he'll be taken down across the 50 at the 45 in enemy territory. Back-to-back nice plays, 12 yards that time and a first down. Miles Sanders. And not able to break away this time as they're going to stop him right around the line of scrimmage. Officially no gain on the play, and it's 2nd down. Back to throw on 2nd and 10. That'll be caught by Hester. The reception good for 7. It's 3rd down. A good chance this is 4-down territory if they're unable to convert. Right now looking at a 3rd and 3. They'll drop to throw. And this is going to be intercepted. Picked up near the 26. And the return here is stopped at the 35-yard line.
And Brandon, this is a real nice job defensively, getting inside a quarterback's head and figuring out, okay, where's he going with the football? Because you can make not all the time, but sometimes, and when you're right, you got a decent chance of coming away with the football.
Out comes the Jacksonville offense as they get set to take over here. They've had it twice. They've punted twice. Not the start they were hoping for.
Not at all, and let's face it, every facility we visit, everyone talks about converting on 3rd down, how big that is. In this situation, they've had to punt it away twice, so they're furiously going over things on the sidelines. What do we need to do to pick up a first down and change our momentum?
Let him go by a little too easily there.
Well, that's what we saw on film, isn't it? His head goes down oftentimes when he goes to punch, when he's trying to block. And when you do that, you can't see your target. He went right past him and made the play.
After the loss to start out, here's 2nd and 11. Now a first carry for their fullback. The 2nd down play, not much better than the first, just a gain of 1 there.
Tackle made at the 36-yard line. A gain of a yard. Brings up 3rd and 10.
On 3rd down, Marino. Quick hitter here, it's complete. And he will lose yardage here to the 31-yard line. Losing 4 yards that time, and now it's 4th down.
If you're a selfish player, and you're throwing the ball, you're cool with the completion. Maybe not so cool with the yardage loss, though, huh?
Yeah, you went backwards on the yardage. Hey, it kind of works like a sack for the defense there.
Yeah, it's a really big play for them, right? Able to figure it out, sniff it out, and finish it off.
And he's getting a workout here in this first quarter as he gets it away. And that is much too long. It's into the end zone for a touchback. And now out comes Houston. And there are parts of their last drive they'd like to emulate. Of course, they'd like to forget the inning, the interception. But they did put together, Charles, a nice sustained drive to get him down the field.
Yeah, and unfortunately for them, the only thing that matters is part two, right? Because once they threw the interception and finished off the drive, that does them no good to go back and say, well, you know what, a good one going. Finish things off. That's the only way you can get it done.
That throw good for 4. It's second down. They'll come up 2nd and 6 now from the 24. 2nd and 6. Looking low, that's complete. 60 catches for him now on the year. This last one, a first down. So 1st and 10 now from the 30. Back to throw here. And this will be incomplete. Physical play on the football there, and it's second down. On the 30 as they come up 2nd and 10.
At the 30-yard line.
And to give this time to the tailback. And he'll be upended at the 33 following a gain of 3. And guess what? It brings up 3rd down. Safety valve here. That's complete. And he'll be tackled right on the chalk at a 45.
We always talk about having to read defenses and how complicated that is. Well, this was an excellent read. Read the pressure and got rid of the football before it even got to him for a nice game.
And when they're blitzing like that, running back usually a good spot to go with the football?
Without a doubt, because he's right in your sight line or he's near you. So you're able to just get it to him easily. And once he gets in space, that's usually a good matchup for him.
On 1st down, Campbell. And he'll be corralled out across midfield down to the 45. 11 yards there, just like last play. This running game's so important for them, and they know that. It helped lead them to a victory last week when he was over 100 yards.
Let's face it, it's their identity, and that's what they want to play to. They want to be that team that runs the ball really well each and every week, and right now we're seeing a pretty good pattern of that happening.
So in Jacksonville territory now, here's a 1st and 10 at the 45-yard line. They'll look to throw here. And he's got his man on the comebacker. And they're able to work this to the 25 before it's all said and done. Chewing up big yardage. Another nice gain there. This one goes for 20.
Partner, this is one of the best routes anyone can have in their offensive playbook. Tough to defend because you think it's a go route, and then he breaks it back on the comeback. There's one other thing you need as well.
A well-thrown ball.
Exactly right. Got a guy that has some precision in throwing the football because of the timing of the route.
This quarterback now already over 100 yards passing in this first quarter. It's 1st and 10. This is the tight end fan. And he takes it down to the 10-yard line. Another good gain. That's now 35 yards combined on those last 2 plays.
A lot of tight ends just use their size and their strength, try to occupy some space and kind of body people away and catch the football. But not this guy. He's a refined route runner. Makes me wonder if he took some dance classes in his background with his footwork.
Play action, they'll throw to the end zone, but it's incomplete. An incomplete pass on 1st down. That leads to a 2nd and 10. 2nd and 10. Looking end zone, but it's incomplete. This offense was on the move. Now 2 straight incompletions. Have them looking at 3rd and 10. They're going to look to throw. To the end zone, but it's incomplete.
I'm going to need some help with this one. How did he miss it? Wide open in the end zone. He's not hurried. He's not hit. And somehow, incomplete?
Yeah.
What happened?
During film study, that's one where he's just going to shake his head, not be able to believe it.
6 points go by the wayside on that one.
So out comes a field goal team now for the second time here today.
A 27-yard attempt.
Myers' kick is good. And that'll make it 6-0 here in the first. A dozen plays on that drive that ends with the field goal.
Let's go ahead and break out some of the old chestnuts here, right, partner? Keep the ball in front, rally to it, and make the tackle, right? No big plays given up, no balls over your head. Bend, don't break.
Hold on. Chestnuts?
You like
Come
that?
on, what does that mean, break out? That just because you break chestnuts?
I'm not sure about that. I'm just going with what they said.
Then he'll take this across the 25, a couple extra yards, up to the 27-yard line. And out now comes Jacksonville as they get ready to go. The results for them so far not that great. Well, not good at all. 3 drives, 3 punts.
Yeah, and now what you're doing is you're looking at your play sheet, trying to figure out what you're going against defensively. I wonder, are they showing them something they haven't seen or anticipated in practice, and maybe that's throwing them off? Or do they just have to go to a different play calling section and try and run some offense that way?
The numbers for him from a week ago: 3 catches, 54 yards.
And he was able to get open there, but that's not always easy against this bunch defensively. We are deep enough into the season where numbers count. This is #1 rated defense in the NFL. They'll have a tough time.
To throw again on 2nd down. Marino. And Marino cannot get away. He goes down. Well, they go play fake. The problem is nobody was faked out.
And when no one's faked out, what's the end result? Quarterback gets hit.
From the gun on 3rd down is Marino. And the pressure gets to him again.
I remember when I was a kid and all I wanted was a nickel so I could get that soda down at the fountain. And guess what? The nickel came into play well. 5 defensive backs, they covered well, allowed for the sacks.
Sodas were a nickel when you were a kid?
No, I just needed the extra nickel so I could pay the proper price.
Okay, how much were they? A dime? What were they?
15 cents.
And the Jaguars send out their punter, standing just outside his own goal line. And that'll hit at the 5 and go into the end zone for a touchback.
1st down and 10.
And out comes the Houston offense as they get set to take over here. And last time they got 3 points, but it was a chip shot field goal. And when you go to the sideline after a chip shot field goal, maybe the offense not too happy.
It's a balancing act, isn't it? Because you're exactly right. They're none too pleased that they didn't punch it in for 6 points. But also have to remember, they did put points on the board.
3 points is 3 points.
And in this league, you take points when you can get them. Not easily done.
Given 9 there on the first down completion.
Let's just break this down and make it pretty simple. Key to the drag route, letting the play develop, finding a hole in the defense, and giving your athlete, yes, athlete, a chance to make something happen once he has the ball in his hands.
Up at the 29 now, they'll head to the line, 2nd and a yard. They'll run with a Hall of Famer Sayers, and they'll take him down at the 31-yard line. 2 yards, good enough for a first. Line of scrimmage, the 31 now on 1st and 10.
1st down, Houston.
The play action fake, they'll look to throw. He's got his man in the crossing route. And he's finally taken down, and it's a big gain there on what will turn out to be the final play of this first quarter. 6-0 our score after 1. So in Jacksonville territory now. Here's a 1st and 10 at the 46. And he'll give it here to his running back. And down inside the 40 to about the 38. 7 yards on the pickup there, and it'll leave him with a 2nd and 3.
It's a gain of 7.
On the game. And he's taken down inside the 30. It's a first down on a gain of 10.
Absolutely love the run right there. This guy's known for his quickness, but also for his speed. And he's able to get to the second level almost before you blink if you give him any type of blocking. Always talk about slot receivers, and they're usually known as quicker than fast. In this case, we've got a guy who's quick and fast, and he used it to great advantage.
Off the play fake, he'll look to throw. He's going to go down here and set up and push him back to the 34.
What a nice read and play by the defensive tackle. Never brought the play-action fake. Went right for the quarterback and put him on the ground.
So 2nd and long, and got to be careful not to fall out of field goal range. 2nd and 15. Ball's going to let this go for the end zone. And that will be caught. But out of bounds. Out of bounds. Ruled incomplete here. So this will be accepted as it moves the offense backwards. An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means he'll need to come up with something here on 3rd down. He'll drop to throw. And he's got his man out of the backfield. That's complete. And he'll work it inside the 30 to the 29-yard line.
I know most of the time when the ball's in the air, you're thinking wide receiver, tight end, but running backs, they can be a big part of any passing offense nowadays.
The field goal team for the 3rd time today. From the left hash, this from 46. And it bangs off the left and right and deflects away. It's no good. And this score will stay right where it is. Now out comes their leader and the captain of this offense back onto the field. And I guess the question, Charles, is what's the formula for keeping him better protected? Because as we see, the protection, it struggled.
And normally what you get is renewed determination. When the big guy gets hit, that usually sparks people. Hey, we can't let this happen anymore. They take it personally. He's not supposed to be on the ground. But that hasn't been the case so far in this game. So maybe you've got to figure out how do we get rid of the ball faster to help out the offensive line so he doesn't get hit as much.
And we'll see if they can keep him off the ground now going forward. Just a yard on the catch there. It'll be 2nd and 9.
And partner, I think that's a great example that not all tight ends are created equal.
Nowhere to escape, and he goes down.
And that was just absolute perfect man coverage. Nowhere for them to go with the football. Led to a sack. And that's really difficult to do in today's NFL with all these gazelles running around that you're trying to cover in the secondary.
These guys have punted 4 times already, and they're staring at a 5th, barring a conversion here on 3rd down. Marino here from the gun. Firing quickly here, and that's complete. And he will lose yardage and be backed up to the 24. That'll go as a loss of 5. And that's going to make it 4th down. Well, where do you find that one in the playbook, Charles?
You don't. You absolutely don't. And sometimes what happens is guys want to make a big play, and they turn it into a really bad one. Sometimes you're best just to cut your losses and go down. I hope we don't see another play like that. I'll guarantee you the offensive coordinator, he's looking at his play sheet. He can't find it either.
Yeah, big loss there on the pass completion. That'll be put in the books as a 53-yard punt. And the offense will take over with a new set of downs. There again is the running back as he trots onto the field. We're in the 2nd quarter. They've got the lead. The lead, though, not so much because of the ground game, because of their air attack, Charles.
So what they're seeing so far is the possibility of things loosening up later in the ground game. Through the air first, maybe they have to start respecting that even more as the game goes on, and then there will be running lanes to find later.
Yeah, try to get him more involved here on this drive, maybe. Now here's a pass on first down. It's knocked away and incomplete. It was Roquan Smith who got his big hand in there to knock it away. Now he'll look to throw here on 2nd and 10.
And that's one he's got to be happy to have back. There wasn't a hole open in the zone.
You'd have to think on early downs like that first down there, need to be a little bit more careful.
Yeah, fortunately for him, he's got a couple more downs to play with. It's a game of matchups, and that's why you take your receivers and move them around a bunch, especially your best guys. And when they work out of the slot, you often hear the coaches talk about how great it is because it gives you a two-way go. You can break out or you can break in. That makes it hard to defend.
They'll run on first down. It's Campbell. Well, they'll get him down after a pickup of 8. 2nd and 2. 8 yards the gain on that last run. Here's 2nd and a couple.
8 yards on the pickup. Brings up 2nd and 2.
Here's a play fake as he'll set up the throw. And he finds a man with a crossing route. And they'll get him down as he's inside the 40. If you're going to blitz, likely going to leave you in man coverage with this guy, and that is less than ideal.
It is because just about any offense that has an elite receiver, if you blitz and have him in man coverage, you're going to him, even if he has an elite defender on him, because he usually knows where the ball is before the defender does.
This quarterback now over 200 yards already in this first half. It's 1st and 10. They'll look to throw. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Great job defensively. I think he was trying to go through his progressions, find someone to get rid of the football. Before he knew it, he was on his back.
So that just brings us right back to what you said in the beginning. A great job defensively. Nowhere to go with the football. That led to the sack.
After the sack, it's 2nd and 19, and the road gets a bit tougher from here. Now a handoff here to his running back. They get 2 yards back, but they're going to need a lot more than that here on 3rd down. This offense on 3rd down today, just 1 for 5 to this point. This is 3rd and 17. Record his 5th sack.
Obviously, pass rush has been a strength of this team all year long.
And apparently they're not satisfied with top 5. They want to climb that ladder.
Yeah, I think it goes back to their offseason. They decided to make it a priority, and it's working out.
They bring their punter out there now, as he should be able to pin him back deep here with his first punt. He steps into this one, and this is a rocket.
The Jaguars take over 1st and 10.
Up comes the Jaguar offense now as they get set to take over. These guys had to punt their last possession, and that's become too familiar of a refrain. Too many of these drives just wound up going nowhere.
Well, you know how in baseball, when the pitcher gets a base hit and he's on base, they bring his jacket out to him to keep him warm? A lot of times the punter goes to the sideline, puts on sweatpants or a wrap over his leg to keep it warm. He might need a massage from the trainer right now from all the work he's getting.
A gain of 3, 2nd down. Now 2nd and 7 from the 23.
Brings up 2nd and 7.
And give this time to the tailback. Takes this to the 27. Give him 4 yards. These guys have punted 4 times already, and they're staring at a 5th, barring a conversion here on 3rd down. And he'll give it here to his running back. That is not going to be any help as they dump him behind the line of scrimmage. It'll wind up being a loss of 2. And that'll bring up 4th down.
Not the result they were looking for there on 3rd down. They end up taking a loss on the play. The only person happy now, the punter, gets to go out there and show Mom that he gets to play in the game.
And the Jaguars send out their punter. He's been terrific so far. Said and done, it's a 58-yard run. And possession will switch hands, 1st and 10. Getting set to go again as we look at the back, heading onto the field again. A good job in the passing game, decent job in the running game, but really they've been more effective through the air. We'll see if that shifts at all as this goes on.
Thus far, it feels like they're calling this game in reverse. Normally you run to set up the pass. Here it feels like they're passing, hoping to set up the run and be more effective later on in the game.
You can do it both ways. We usually talk about it in the reverse, however.
No doubt about it.
Calling no gain on the play, and it'll be second down.
No gain on the play. Second and 10.
On the draw, it's Sanders. And here's another tackle made at the line, so they're converging well in the football now. No gain on that one as it brings up a 3rd and 10. He'll look to throw. He's going to fire this one deep right sideline. Able to connect, incomplete. Give them credit, they took their shot, but it's going to bring up 4th down.
Sure, that pass was incomplete. They made an attempt to get a big one downfield, but that's okay because the second part of that is if you don't get the completion, at least you've told the defense you're trying to stretch them out a little bit, and they may have to change accordingly.
On as the punt team now as this one's sent away. And that is very well done there as this will be marked out of bounds at the 5-yard line.
That is how you flip field position. That's an absolute bomb of a punt. Downs it inside the 5-yard line. Absolutely ideal.
From that position, you're hoping to get it down inside the 15, inside the 5. Superb. Here comes the Jaguars offense as they get set here. Well, they're going to have to go at least 50, 60 yards here if they want to ensure that they don't have to punt the ball like they did last time.
Yeah, so what you're saying is we're not playing to just get out of the shadow of your own goal line, right? You're playing to make sure the punter doesn't see the field again, so it's not picking up a couple of first downs. You want to pick up 5 or 6 first downs and make sure you move the ball into their territory.
Calling a loss of 2 on the play, and that'll make it 2nd and 12.
If there's not one guy, it's another with this defense. I mean, this is the #1 unit against the rush in the entire NFL. They know how to cover for each other, and yeah, they've got great players. They also have very dependable players, too.
First play of the drive goes the wrong way. Here's 2nd and 12.
Let's set a tone, fellas. Let's set a tone.
Out of the gun, it's Marino. And a quick throw here, that's complete. Continuing to fight for middle. And we'll give it up to the 12-yard line here. 8 yards on the completion, but now they face 3rd down. These guys have punted 4 times already, and they're staring at a 5th, barring a conversion here on 3rd down. And he will get the 1st down as he's up to the 12-yard line. The drive stays alive, a 3rd down gain of 8.
It's amazing how much advice defensive players get on 3rd down. You hear the bench screaming out, watch the draw, watch the screen, watch the pass here. Very rarely do they reference watching the fullback, and he slipped through and picked up a 1st down.
Now a handoff here to his running back. This will be a gain of about 8 to the 27-yard line.
Carried by number 24. He was tackled at the 27-yard line.
From the 27, Marino. Incomplete to Okoye. And he's able to get out to the 32. This offense finding its legs now. Here's another 1st and 10. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. He was trying to keep his eyes downfield. Nobody came open.
He's trying to do everything that he had been taught, right? Every bit of the technique. But if no one's open, there is no technique except make sure you hold on to the ball as you go to the ground when you're getting sacked.
Sacks, a growing theme in this first half. This is 2nd and long. Going to give this time to the tailback. And he still has yet to get on track in this first half as they're going to stop him behind the line. A 2nd down play results in a loss of 2 yards. He already has 2 sacks to his credit. Now another tackle for a loss.
And you know how you can always identify who was supposed to block him? They're the ones helping up the person who just got knocked to the ground with the ball, right? Whether it's a running play or a pass play, they've got to figure out a way to slow him down. Maybe you chip him with a second guy. Maybe you just out-and-out double him. Maybe you make sure you take the ball and throw it as far away from him as possible. Because right now, he is wrecking things for them.
And the ball is knocked out. And the defense will get their hands on it, going the other way. And this results in 6. Touchdown.
Keep doing you, boy.
So the defense forces the fumble. They get the score, and a guy on defense becoming offensive there, Charles.
And you know they love that. Any guy on defense loves to pick up the ball and have it in his hands and try and score himself. In this case, that's exactly what happened.
We'll be singing in the shower post-game. Jason Myers now for the extra point. And he's got it to make it now 13-0.
Next to score, Oilers 13.
The scoop and score, always an exciting play in football, and we witnessed it there, grabbing it off the ground and then rumbling it into the end zone for 6. And you can bet they're preaching 2 hands on the ball here as the kick's away following a fumble return. That'll be taken in the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. Look at the running back, the man out of the backfield as he gears up to go again. He's had a good chunk of carries. Problem is for very little success. I don't want to put it all on his shoulders, but that's a big reason they're losing right now.
Have to be very careful that he doesn't start pointing fingers. Offensive line obviously trying. The defense has done a nice job against him today. When it's all said and done, it's all about the guy in the mirror. He has to get it done better going forward.
See if he can look and do some soul searching now. No gain on the play there. Second down.
No gain on the play. Brings up 2nd and 10.
Now an inside draw. This is their fullback. And trying to push forward, but he is going to be stuffed up in the backfield. The tally there, -2 yards, brings up 3rd down.
After a play like that, there should be congratulations all the way around, I think, because if you can stop a big fullback like that, that's not easily done.
Yeah, he does not go down easily. You're right, but he did there. These guys have punted 4 times already, and they're staring at a 5th, barring a conversion here on 3rd down. Play fake. Here's Marino. And the passing route complete. That's Carter. And they work this way upfield across the 45. Call that a very strong gain of 24.
Thus far, it hasn't been a real fun half for them. They'll play like that, and that may get them off the schneid a little bit, get them loosened up and moving.
Kind of seems like they've been sleepwalking and still sitting on 0 points.
And it's not always making an adjustment. Sometimes it's just going back to what you know can work and finally getting it done.
This quarterback now, only 1 pass has hit the ground for him. 10 of 11 thus far. It's 1st and 10. They'll run it here. This is their fullback getting the carry. And he goes across midfield into Houston territory. It's a pickup of 4, and it'll bring up 2nd down. Now we've hit the 2-minute mark in this first half of action. We'll remind you that coming up at halftime, we'll join Jonathan Coachman and the gang in Orlando. Coach will have stats and scores from the early games going on here around the NFL. And he's going to go down. They sack him back at the 42. They'll get to the line here, but remember, it's also 3rd down. Now the wing up. And that is incomplete.
Incomplete on the throwaway. Results.
So a couple of first downs on this drive, but it's looking like another empty possession.
And those empty possessions are certainly starting to pile up. So the adjustments that teams talk about all the time have to be taking place. They've got to analyze what's breaking down and figure a way to fix it.
And the Jaguars send out their punter. He's been one of their few bright spots so far. And this is going to hit the goal line and continue on into the end zone for a touchback. And now out comes Houston. Still more than a minute to go, so there is time if they want to mount something here.
Not only time, but they have 3 timeouts at their disposal as well. So that changes everything that you're doing here. Without those timeouts, you can only work the sidelines, hoping to get out of bounds. Here, the middle of the field's still available because you can call timeout and regroup.
They'll try and start this drive in the air. This one taken in by Hester. And he takes it all the way down to the 28-yard line.
Here we go. Here we go.
A big play there on the catch and run. 52 yards. We know he's good at catching the football, but then after the catch, he's got escapability.
Not only that, he's got some toughness as well, because you know he's coached very hard to make sure he battles through, breaks tackles, and then they finish with, but don't fumble the football.
So that changes things in a big way. Now from all the way down inside the 30, here's 1st and 10. To the left side and caught by Hester. It's a 13-yard pickup as the downs reset.
To number 6. A gain of 13 yards. First down.
We'll drop to throw it. And he fires one incomplete. So after the incompletion on first, now 2nd and 10.
Brings up 2nd and 10.
They'll set up to throw. That'll be caught by Hester. And all the way down inside the 5 to the 4. Now another timeout called for by the offense as they get the stoppage with just under 50 seconds remaining in half number 1. 3 red zone trips have yielded just 2 field goals for them to this point, so they'll be searching for something more on 2nd and goal here. No gain on the play that time, and it sets up 2nd and goal.
No gain on the play.
2nd and 4.
Probably designed blitz right there. They took
Nowhere to escape, and he goes down.
2nd goal. Last thing you need to do is get pushed backwards and take a sack. But he couldn't find anywhere to go with the football. Had to eat it and ended up on the ground.
So the sack means it's 3rd and goal now from the 10. Looking to throw. This will be caught at about the 6. Nifty running there, but it'll come on what should be the final play of half number 1.
A gain of 5 yards. Leads to 4th down and goal.
So we've reached the intermission in what right now is a 13-point game as we now go downstate to Orlando and check in with Jonathan Coachman with our EA Sports Halftime Report.
All right, Brandon, thanks very much. Things definitely getting interesting around the NFL as we begin the month of December. So let's get right to it. We'll get started over at Mercedes-Benz Stadium in downtown Atlanta. And that one getting close to halftime with the Falcons out in front. The Falcons looking to sew that one up, and they look to be in pretty good shape. Next, we'll take the trip north to the Steel City to check on the Steelers at home in Pittsburgh. And for the moment, they trail the visiting Browns in that one. The Browns seem to be on their way to what would be a good victory. Lastly, we head to the City of Angels to check on the Rams at home in L.A. And they were losers in that one to the visiting Tampa Bay Bucks. Meanwhile, in our game, it's been a back-and-forth first half. Who can put it together in the second half? For the answer, we turn it back over to our broadcast team of Brandon Godden and Charles Davis.
All right, Coach, thank you, and we welcome everyone back for quarter number 3. This one fielded at the 5. And he'll take it up past the 25 to the 26-yard line.
At their own 26-yard line.
Now comes the Houston offense as they get set to take over here. They built a good first half lead. Now they have a chance to add on to it.
And what I'm thinking is that the offensive staff spent the entire halftime just working with them on Here's what we think they're going to do to attack us in the second half. Nice first half that we've had, guys, but be prepared for some change-ups. We're going to see it when we kick it off in the second half.
See how to handle any adjustments that might be made defensively.
And plays like that are exactly what this defense needs here early in the second half to give it a little spark. I think their halftime adjustments, what they talked about, maybe it's just a little inspirational speech. Who knows? But it looks like they're ready to go.
A 3-yard loss to start the drive. They'll look to make that up and then some on 2nd and 13. 2nd and 13. He's got his big tight end, Fant. That throw good for only a couple. It brings up 3rd down.
It's a gain of 2 yards. And it's 3rd down.
They'll look to throw here. He'll drop this one out to Sayers. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. That'll go as a 16-yard gain as they pick up the first.
And I know you can't really see it, but that play spells frustration with a capital F for the guys on defense. They covered everyone else, end up going to the running back out of the backfield, and he picks up a back-breaking first down.
This quarterback now over 300 yards now for the game, and time to improve on that as he's got a 1st and 10. Back to throw. And that is incomplete. He couldn't hold on through the contact. Brings up 2nd down. Here now is 2nd and 10, again for the 41. They'll give it here to his running back. And that one blown up quickly. He's going to be stopped before he can even get started.
Early down steps to put this offense in a precarious position. We know that securing the point of attack, especially against the big-bodied guys in the middle of this D, has got to be priority 1.
And the Jags, Charles, I think they're in the dime here.
Covering a lot of field.
They'll drop the throw. He's going to hit his man out of the backfield, complete. And they'll bring it up here to right at the 40-yard line.
Whether you're playing West Coast offense or not, one of the maxims of the West Coast offense is you're either throwing a touchdown or a check down. In other words, look for the big shot, but be smart. I think they did exactly that on that play. They didn't get the first down, but they're taking care of the ball well.
Yeah, and being rightly cautious with that lead here in the second half. And on now is the punter as he's on to punt for Houston. And this is away. It's a high kick, and he got all of it.
The Jaguars take over 1st and 10 at their own 20-yard line.
Now here's the signal caller getting ready to lead this offense again. He's been pretty good when he's had time. The issue is, as we see here, a lot of times he hasn't had the time.
And a lot of that in getting past it is attitude. How's he projecting? Is he showing that the other team is getting to him? Is he showing his guys up front that he's upset, that he's angry? Or is he still encouraging? Because those guys, they've got to find a way to pick it up. And it always happens a little bit better if the quarterback's on their side.
So far, 5 sacks against him. And yet again, this run game just continues to be completely shut off.
Completely stymied. I mean, they're trying to get some consistency, trying to find places to roam. They just haven't been there throughout this game.
A loss of a yard there to start out. That leads to a 2nd and 11. Now it's Marino. Quick hitter here. It's complete. And he'll lose yardage here. Back to the 15. Check that up as a 4-yard loss. And now it's 3rd down. A pass for negative yardage, obviously no good. Maybe he shouldn't have thrown it, or maybe he shouldn't have caught it.
And I think we were seeing it at the same time, weren't we? Maybe you let that one go, right? Because you can see the lost yardage about to develop. But that goes against every instinct of a receiver. They're taught to catch everything. So it's really hard to be mad at him and yell at him for trying to make that play.
These guys have punted 4 times already, and they're staring at a 5th. Now the conversion here on 3rd down. And that's not going to get it done. He'll come up well short of the first at about the 21. It's a gain of 6 on the play, and that's going to bring up a 4th down.
And the big guy catches the ball out of the backfield, and oftentimes it's quite a surprise to the guys playing defense because not ordinarily thought as a pass catcher, it often works when they decide to dial it up.
And the Jaguars send out their punter as he'll come on to kick this one away. A big kick that time, 52 yards. And that will come the offense as they take over. And now out comes Houston. This crew had to punt last time they had the ball, but when you've got a lead like this, you content to play the field position game?
You are to an extent, especially if you like your defense, because you have the lead, you've been controlling the game. But why put them in a tougher spot? You want to get out there and get something done on offense and maybe take command of this game yourself.
And he takes us up to the 40-yard line before being corralled. 16 yards right off the bat on 1st down. When he runs, he seems to do a nice job of knowing when to be patient and find the hole, and then when the hole is there, he goes quickly.
You're exactly right. He knows how to just take off, but you know what else? Brings a little thump with him, doesn't he?
He does.
He packs the boom at the end of the run and finishes it going forward. That's what you want to see out of your backs.
So quickly all the way up at the 40-yard line. They're going to look to throw. Now he's forced out left. He'll run it. He's tackled a yard short of the marker. Good gain of 9 on 1st down.
He was brought down at his 49-yard line. It's a gain of 9. Brings up
the play action fake. They'll look to throw. He's got his man on the crossing route. And he'll get it down here to the 43.
Complete to number 3.
And there they went crossing route against the zone defense. What do you think of that?
Takes real coordination between the passer and the receiver because you've got to read those zones and where the open spots are and be on the same page with the guy throwing the football. Because sometimes you're throwing it in front of the zone. Sometimes you're throwing it between the zones. Sometimes the receiver's going to just kind of find a spot and what we call sit down and present himself to the quarterback and throw it there. It's a tough read, but when they're in sync, it's really effective.
And they'll wind up getting this one all the way down inside the 20. That one goes for 24 yards. Certainly worth noting he's now 1 catch away from 600. He's at 599 in his career. This quarterback now 6 for 6 since coming back out of the locker room. It's 1st and 10. They'll set up the throw. That's going to be caught. And he can't quite get there. Tackled down at the 1. That's over 40 yards of movement with those last 2 plays. And passing yardage-wise, now up over 350 in this game. Pretty nice performance.
Definitely that, which usually means you're putting a lot of pressure on guys trying to cover. If you're a defensive back and they put over 350 yards on you, you've had a long day. The key to everything, if you're doing it without throwing interceptions or turning the ball over.
2 big plays in succession. Not sure this D knows what hit him, but now they got to get ready. It's 1st and goal. They'll try to run this one in. And he gets into the end zone. Touchdown, Houston. A great play there. His 11th touchdown of the year. And his guys are going to add on to their lead. Always important to get the first score of the second half. Now you start to pull away a little bit and get some breathing room going.
And now we find out about the fortitude of the group that's behind, because they were counting on getting into the game a little bit more, right? Maybe they get the first score. That doesn't happen. It looks almost insurmountable, but it's not. Let's see how they play the rest of the game. You know, sometimes the guy on the defensive side of the ball, he just has a good feeling or a good read, and he unleashes defense on that. Boy, it stopped them in the big one.
Yeah, I hate to be cliche, but sometimes we overanalyze. They just have more want. Looked like they had more want right there.
More want and more people to the ball.
The kickoff team on the field now as they will send this one away. This is taken about 7 yards deep. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. And now out come the Jags. These guys had to punt last time. It has not been a very fruitful game offensively thus far. They haven't even made a trip to the red zone.
And I know that everyone's going crazy on that sideline because that drives you berserk to come off the field, not really move the ball well. As you said, not even get to the red zone, let alone, not even put points on the board. They've got to just take a deep breath, relax, try to figure out what is working, and call more of that.
2nd and 6, just inside the 30.
At the 29-yard line.
Wiggles free, and they take him down, losing yardage back at the 27. He lost 2 there, and it's 3rd down.
It's a loss of 2. Brings up 3rd down.
This offense in desperate need of a conversion as they come up on 3rd down. From the shotgun, Maria. And that is incomplete. Oh, he had a defender right there with him to force that to the ground. And 4th down now coming up. Another drive comes and goes. Still nothing on the scoreboard.
Yeah, and when the second half comes, it's real easy to get discouraged and wonder if you're ever going to get things started. You just got to fight through it. Got to keep pounding away.
And the Jaguars send out their punter as he's on here to punt it away. Fielded just inside the 20. Officially, that'll go as a 52-yard punt. Not too shabby. Out comes the Houston offense as they get set to take over here. Here's a give now to Sayers. And he works his way forward for a couple up past the 30. The last run got a couple. Here's 2nd and 8.
2 yards on the field.
Here's 2nd and 8. And it's a short one here, complete to his tight end.
The 2nd down pass.
And the Jags have 5 in the secondary here on 3rd down. He'll drop to throw. He's got his tight end fan. And he'll be out of bounds after getting this one across the 40. That catch puts him over 70 yards receiving now as he's got a 1st down. That reception, his 600th NFL catch. Congratulations. Quite the accomplishment. Intercepted, but he will be ruled out of bounds. So this will go only as incomplete. Ball on the 42 as they come up 2nd and 10. Off the play fake, he'll look to throw. This is the tight end fan. And he's going to have another 1st down as the tackle's made at the Jaguars' 31-yard line. So there on that play, offensively, they were in the crossing route. Defense was in zone coverage. So as a former DB, how tough is it to defend that?
It's really difficult because your natural inclination is to chase the receiver and maybe leave your zone. So you have to have discipline in order to talk to your other coverage guys and let him know that that receiver's crossing from your zone to the next zone. He's coming your way. Make sure you have him. And then when the ball is actually thrown, secure the tackle. When they're moving on crossing routes, if you miss a tackle, it usually results in a big play.
So in Jacksonville territory now. Here's a 1st and 10 down at the 31. Back to throw here. And we'll find his man on the end route. Complete. And inside the 20 before he's brought down. Another nice gain, 16 yards there, and a 1st down again. And on that last play there, he's over 400 yards passing now.
You know what that generally means?
Success.
That, and it means you really didn't miss opportunities. Usually very accurate. The ball's getting to the right place. guys are making yardage after the catch to help you out that way. I mean, the whole team has picked it up.
And got his man. It's caught. Touchdown, Houston. Noah Fant, his third touchdown now on the year. And his guys find a way to stretch that lead. And he's such a talented tight end, just creates nightmarish tight matchups on the other side.
He's so good that when we say tight end, we're almost damning him with faint praise, aren't we? Because he can do it all. He's as good as any receiver in the NFL.
Well, that's the deal. He's a wide receiver, just in a bigger body.
Bigger body, a matchup nightmare, and who's going to cover him? When I sit in the film session, I just look at the coach and say, really? Really? You're going to yell at me? You go cover him.
Myers connects on the PAT, and the decision to just kick the extra point winds up successful. So that drives 7 plays in length, and the result, a Houston touchdown. Out is the kickoff unit as they run up and send this one away. This fielded a few yards into the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. The Jags offense now gets set and heads back onto the field. And right now these guys, they're shuffling a little bit, maybe doubting, because 3 straight drives have ended with them punting the football away.
Yeah, so you start pointing fingers at each other a little bit, asking a lot of questions. What are you seeing? What are you getting? Maybe trying to narrow down your playbook a little bit and maybe get simpler rather than more complex in order to try and fashion together a drive.
And they're going to get him behind the line yet again as his nightmare afternoon continues.
It's time for them to be good teammates right here. What I mean by that is possess the ball for a little while, get at least 2 first downs, give their defense a chance to settle down a little bit after they give up a touchdown.
That catch good for 5. It's third down. Here's Moreno to throw. That's a short one here, complete to the tight end. And he will have a first down as they get into the ground at the 37. 5th catch of the afternoon, and that gives him a first down.
And that one was a lot of fun right there because that was the game within the game. 3rd and short, blitz was on. What's the key for the quarterback? Get out of your hands in a hurry. And that was a quick little completion. Got the job done for a first down.
This quarterback now 5 straight completions here in this second half. 1st and 10. Now a handoff here to his running back. And he's dropped right at the 40. Gain of 3. 3 yards on the pickup there, and it'll be second down. 4 times already, and they're staring at a 5th, barring a conversion here on 3rd down. To throw is Moreno, and this is going to be incomplete. They don't get the hook up there, but you really have to marvel at how precise he's been throwing the football these last couple weeks.
Oh, that's a perfect word for it, precise, because if you're at 70% or better 2 weeks in a row, you have a job as long as you want one in this league, won't you? I mean, let's face it, it's not just West Coast offense either. He's putting the ball downfield as well.
And now out comes Houston. There have been no struggles here for this crew. I mean, they were up double digits at halftime, and they just expanded that here in the second half.
And it appears there are no answers from the defensive side. I think right now, if I'm the coordinator, if I'm down on the field, if I'm wearing a hat, I've already thrown it. If it's a hat,
nowhere to escape, and he goes down.
That's the 2nd sack of the game. The best defensive ends, they do their homework as much as offensive guys do. They know how to beat the offensive lineman across from them, what moves they need to do to set them up. This guy's been pretty good at it all game long.
And they need to work to at least get some of this yardage back after the sack. 2nd and 19. They'll look to throw. Firing quickly here, and that's complete. And he'll be about a full yard shy of the 20 at the 19-yard line. 8 yards in the completion, but now they face 3rd down. The Jags with 5 in the secondary now on 3rd down. Here's a play fake as they set up the throw.
piece of the football. He's going to pump it into the air, and then it's the tip drill. And good concentration by him to react to it and pull in the interception.
Jaguars offense as they get set to go again. They've got to dig down deep. I mean, they need something right now, really anything to cling on to. This offense has struggled.
Partner, join me in a walk to their locker room at the half, okay? Because I think what we would have seen is an offensive coordinator and his assistant coaches getting together all their positions, then coming together as a group, going over adjustments, and then the head coach coming in and just screaming, wake up. Let's get moving, guys.
I'm kind of glad we weren't in there halftime, actually.
You think you might have turned it on us, too?
Right now, whatever was said hasn't been working. Now here's a throw right side, taken in by his tight end. 6 yards the pickup, and that's a first down. This quarterback now, a perfect 8 for 8 to start the second half. Not bad. 1st and 10. Letting one go deep for the... And this is going to be intercepted. Picked up by the Michigan man, Jabril Peppers. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back.
Oh, timing is everything on a route like this. He tried to drive that football into a tight spot. And if you're a little early or a little late, chances are there's going to be someone there. And sure enough, this one's going the other way.
Now comes a Houston offense as they get set to take over here. This is sort of what you would call the put-away drive, isn't it? I mean, they score here, especially a touchdown. It's almost out of reach.
It certainly feels that way, and I think that they're going to call their plays accordingly because what you really want to do, even though you know the scoreboard is still up there and the game's going to go on, you can take the spirit away from another team. That their drive and will to come back and win can be taken with another score right here.
Still 3rd quarter, but you just get that feel.
Yeah, they're teetering right there on the brink.
Back to throw now on 2nd and 10. Campbell making the catch. And they will lose yardage on the play. Back at his own 19-yard line. He'll wind up losing a yard on the play, and that's going to lead to a 3rd and 11. Well, they try to swing it out left into the flat, complete, but really nice open field tackler.
And they played that one like a great boxer. They were on their toes on that one. They weren't back on their heels reacting to the play. They saw it, came right for it, and made a nice tackle for lost yardage.
The last completion actually lost a yard, so now they'll need to convert on 3rd down. On play action, they'll throw. These guys fail the target yet again. It's complete. That's a 1st down with a cherry on top, 31 yards. Every defensive staff harps on limiting explosive plays. Job not so well done there.
Yeah, they talk about it all the time. A lot harder to stop, though, isn't it? And when you think of an explosive play, most offensive staffs define them as passes of 20 or more yards and runs of 15 or more yards.
They went zooming past that number there. So the line of scrimmage all the way up to midfield now as they've got it 1st and 10. From the midfield strike, they'll look to throw. He's going to fire it. This is caught at the 20. Touchdown, Houston. Big play there. His 6th touchdown of the season as his guys continue to pour it on. And there, Charles, he lined up out left, ran the post, caught it over the middle, and the rest, as they say, is history.
And you have to love the scheme that they just showed there, because if you're going to run a deep post, you ordinarily have to get a safety out of the middle of the field. And you do it one of 2 ways. Either by running routes at him that carries him away from it, or you either freeze him in the middle with routes that run underneath so that he doesn't get depth. Then you throw it over the top, and boy, what a successful play that was.
Extra point up and through by Myers. And the lead will swell by 1 more. A 4-play drive spanning 80 yards. And the result, a Houston touchdown. The kickoff unit is out on the field, and they will send this one away. That's fielded in the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. Out comes the Jacksonville offense as they get set to take over here. They are right now just I mean, they have struggled big time in this game, and they're getting blown out. How do they adjust?
So tough because we always talk about it being a team game, and you need all 11 working well together. But every now and then, partner, you need that one guy who can make a play against all odds that maybe can ignite things. And I think that's what they're looking for right now.
Yeah, you talk about one of your playmakers. They probably need to do it.
Find someone that you're used to touching the football that makes good plays and give them that opportunity to maybe wake up everyone else.
Throwing again on second down. Marino. That one complete to Okoye. They'll wind up losing 3. And now it's third down. And this should be the final play before the quarter ends. And that is going to do it for this third quarter of action. You're watching the NFL on EA Sports. They had the catch on second down, but it didn't help at all, and now they're looking at third down here. Marino here from the gun. So they're going to traffic there, and that's complete. And he's going to be stopped here a few yards short of the first as the tackle is made at the 33.
You can see the time and effort and thought that they put into their passing game because it was evident right there. It looks like a simple pitch and catch, but you and I both know that they have planned for this and worked hard to make it happen.
A critical one here if they're going to have any shot at this thing. So they'll go for it on fourth down. Marino sets up. Quick throw here, that's complete. He will have it first down here at about the 40. No reason not to try it there, and they do indeed convert on fourth. Now draw play, it's Okoye. And a nice move will yield nothing as he's stopped behind the line. It's a loss of a yard there, and it's second down. Hate to say it, but that play typifies what we've seen from this offense all game long.
Yeah, don't you think maybe you flip over your play sheet as the offensive coordinator and see the side that says try something different? You know, because this has not worked all game long. They continue to try and get it done. They've got to come up with something a little bit different. Try something special, something they haven't seen.
Anything to score a point. So they get half of what they needed. It'll be 3rd and 6 upcoming.
He's brought down by Jabril Peppers. It's a gain of 6. Brings up third
down. Marino. Quick hitter here. It's complete. And he needed to get to the midfield stripe, but he can't do it. He's about a yard short. It's a 4-yard pickup, and it'll be 4th down.
I wouldn't be surprised to see the next step in utilizing this position is to actually utilize more of a scat back in this spot, because we saw the catch there, right? He made it, but he's a bigger, stronger guy, maybe not quite as elusive as maybe someone else you would put there.
Yeah, didn't get the big yardage there you might out of a smaller back. They're already slim hopes are going to ride on this one. They'll go on 4th down. They'll try and run for it. And boy, is he close. Did he get there? No, they're going to say he's short of the line to gain. A minimal gain there on the 8th play of the drive. Being just short of midfield, they decide to take a crack at it on 4th down. They don't come through.
Sometimes it's just showing confidence in your defense. You know that they're good, and they'll take care of you. A lot of coaches during the week will announce to their team, we're going to be aggressive, guys. We're going to go for it. Hey, defense, you got me? A little bit of a challenge to them to see if they'll pick up the rest of the team.
See how they respond now.
Well, they were unable to make anything really big out of that, but it's not a bad idea to find your tight end and give him an easy completion and keep moving things forward. Almost his bread and butter is a good running back dive play.
Second and 5 after the 5-yard completion on 1st down.
Here we go. Watch.
And to give this time to the tailback. And he'll get it down on the play to the 37. 7 yards there and a 1st down.
He's brought down at the 37-yard line. A gain of 7.
Line of scrimmage, the 37 on 1st and 10. They'll set up to throw. They'll buy some time right. And he can't get rid of it. He's taken down.
Now, how about that? Defensive coordinator perfectly in sync, dials up a blitz. And the man in the middle, he's the one who gets home.
Big Mike.
Big Mike.
Following the sack, they'll try to change their fortune here on 2nd and 13. And he'll give it here to his running back. And he only manages a couple here down to about the 38-yard line.
Tackle made at the 38-yard line. A 2-yard gain on the play.
They'll keep it on the ground. It's Campbell. And they'll get him down at about the 37. Well short of the first. Only a yard on the pickup there, and it's going to leave him with a 4th down.
Absolutely love the effort there. The ability to throw from his inside spot and stop that one at the line of scrimmage. Nice linebacker play.
So they bring out their punter as he'll punt it away for the 4th time today. And no return here. Where will they spot it? They say just outside the 20-yard line. The Jaguars getting set to go. And let's face it, this drive is not going to have any bearing on this game, but it's kind of important for one reason, isn't it?
It certainly is. You got to get points. And, okay, all right, I'm being facetious here. But you get points, you feel a little bit better about yourself as you move on to the next one.
Going for the deep ball. And that is incomplete. Took a shot there on 1st down, but he couldn't reel it in. From the 21, it's 2nd and 10. Here's Marino. Looking for his running back, and he's got it. A 2nd down completion, down 7. Now here's 3rd and 3.
That's a gain of 7.
Again, it's Marino. Throwing the outlet, incomplete. It's Carter. A gain of 7, and they pick up the first.
Little football 101 there. You just see the receiver try to run down the defender, meaning he goes right at him. And you're trying to move him a little bit towards the center of the field, so he can put his foot in the ground and break to the out, to the sideline, and make a catch.
Ball up to the 35 now as they come up on 1st and 10. Again, it's Marino. And that's going to be incomplete. Too tough to hold on to that one. It's 2nd down. So now 2nd and 10 after the incompletion on 1st down. Marino looks to toss it again. And that is incomplete here. The trials and tribulations of being a quarterback in this league, it's tough. It's got to be wearing on him out there.
Well, he has been sacked a number of times. He had an interception, so I'm going to give him
nowhere to escape, and he goes down.
That right now, that's a defeated team out there. I think you can see it totally in their body language.
Hands on hips, heads low. It's just been a struggle from the start.
Yeah, this team has been thoroughly beaten right from the word go.
And the Jaguars send out their punter as he's on to kick it away. And he gets this away. Look at this. This is a good one. And this one hits at the 1, continues on into the end zone for a touchback. And now out comes Houston. And, Charles, we are in the midst of a very one-sided affair. I think this is where you and I have to fill a little bit. You want to regale us with old stories of your childhood in New Paltz, New York?
I don't think anyone wants to hear that, but this is a perfect time for us to start listing MVP candidates, right? The best teams we've seen so far this year, the best games that we've called thus far, how we anticipate the season unfolding. We can go in so many different directions. Because the game, certainly not taking us there.
It's clicking off right now. But he is going to be stopped cold behind the line of scrimmage. something we might see more of here in the fourth quarter.
I think we'll see a lot of it, and the difference between that and a pass blitz just trying to get to the quarterback, trying to scheme someone open who will get to the QB and make sure he gets on the ground. In a run blitz, you're actually trying to cover up gaps, trying to cover up holes so they can't run the football.
Down the numbers. There he goes. Touchdown, Houston. A great effort there. 78 yards as his guys continue to put this one out of reach. So another score there. Often you talk about the three phases of the game. Defense, offense, special teams. It's been a clean sweep in this one, hasn't it?
It certainly has. They've been pretty dominant throughout this game. And privately, the head coach will add a fourth phase. That's the coaching. And he'll tell the ownership that as he tries to negotiate a new contract off of this win.
Well, they are looking strong here in the fourth quarter. Myers connects on the PAT, and that will extend this big lead. Set now to kick this one away, and off it goes. This one taken from the 7. Well, a nice return sets him up pretty good here at the 30-yard line. And out now comes Jacksonville as they get ready to go. And down on the scoreboard, certainly needing to avoid what happened on the last drive, punting the football.
Sense of urgency has to take over for them here. They know the score. They know the situation. And by the way, the punter no longer exists for their offense. That's how they have to treat this drive.
They need points.
Big time.
Just a yard on the catch there. It'll be 2nd and 9. They only got a yard out of that last completion. And that makes this 2nd and 9. Now they'll run on the ball. And he'll be limited to a short gain up to about the 34-yard line. Give him 3 yards, and now they're left needing a conversion here on 3rd and 6. From the goal on 3rd down is Marino. And finds him over the crossing route. And he'll be taken down before he gets into enemy territory. A big one there for the Jags. 18 yards, first down.
And he's the epitome of what we call a mobile tight end. A guy that you can line up anywhere. In the slot, out wide, in tight. Doesn't really matter because he has such great skills. You want to utilize him in all aspects of your passing offense.
There he was in the slot for the catch.
Big stop, G. Big stop. Let's go.
Marino looked to throw out first. Firing quickly here, and that's complete. 6 yards on the pickup, and it'll be 2nd down. 6 yards was the pickup on the last completion, so here's 2nd and 4. Now Marino to throw it. And that'll be incomplete. Took a pretty good shot as he tried to pull that one in. Couldn't hang on 3rd down. Now they face a 3rd down and 4 after that incompletion on 2nd down. And they'll let their fullback try and push the pile. He's going to have the first down at about the 38.
And how about that on 3rd down? So many different directions an offense can go. Throw it out wide to the receivers, get it to their speedy running back. They changed up everything and handed it to the fullback, and he surprised them all and picked up a first down.
So here's a 1st and 10 at the 38. Now it's Marino. Incomplete. They work again from the 38 on 2nd and 10.
It leads to 2nd and 10.
Marino will throw. And he comes back with one complete. For 3rd down. They'll look to make it 3 for 3 on 3rd down conversions. They need a yard here. There's that man again. It's complete. And inside the 20 before it's brought down. 11 yards there for Jacksonville and a first down as well.
And there's another completion to the tight end. And let's face it, it is hard to overthrow a 6'6" target.
It is indeed. Quarterbacks like their speed guys. They like that huge 6'6" target that they've got in him.
They really do, and it reminds me of what one great tight end told me once. He told his quarterback, just make sure you throw it up there. You know, kind of like put up in the top shelf where the kids can't get it.
Now a handoff here to his running back. And he'll take this down for about 4 yards, down to the 15.
He's brought down at the 15-yard line. A gain of 4. It's now a second and 6.
They'll carry here for the fullback. And he's brought down just outside of the 10 at the 11. That's a gain of 4 as we slip inside of 4 minutes left in regulation.
Makes it third and
2. Now Marino. And that's knocked away and incomplete. Another wayward pass. You know, things started out poorly in this game, and to be frank, they just really haven't gotten much better.
And all that does is embolden the secondary. They feel good about what's going on, and they just play better and better.
Now a field goal try coming up here for the Jags. And his kick here is good. And they'll get back 3, but this remains a large deficit. In the grand scheme of things, those 3 points likely not going to matter much, but I guess they get a little closer, a little more respectability.
Yeah, you're exactly right. They've been outplayed all game long, but like my mom used to tell me all the time before I went out, dress up a little bit, son. Make yourself respectable. And that's what they're doing here. They're just dressing up the final score.
And this will not be returnable. It's out of the back of the end zone for a touchback. There again is the running back as he trots onto the field. He's already hit pay dirt twice. He's up over 100 yards. He is feeling good.
And he's just zipping along today. Everything coming together for him. It's that type of a day that you see it back. Just got to have a grin on his face every time his number is called. Because he doesn't feel like there are going to be any lost yardage plays. Nothing but big-time positive runs.
Maybe the sideline grin as well. 2 yards on the carry there. It'll be second down.
brings up second and 8.
They'll keep it on the ground. Campbell. And they're able to get this one across the 35. 11 yards there, first down. His career rushing numbers just continue to rise with that last carry. He surpasses 12,280 yards and also surpasses Marshall Faulk. So here's a 1st and 10 at the 38.
Watch QB drop. Watch QB drop. Take 4.
Gonna give this time to the tailback. They give him 4 yards there. It'll be second and 6.
4 yards on the
Just 2 minutes remaining here in the fourth quarter of what has been a one-sided affair. So it's our visitors with a football as we get you reset. And let's see what they've come up with offensively after having time to talk it over. And he was able to shed the tackle, but the reserves come in for the stop. Give him 4 on the carry, and it'll make this a 3rd and about 2.
It's a gain of 4, and it's 3rd down.
They'll try and fight for it here with Campbell. And the reinforcements come in as they're going to stop him behind the line. And a loss of 3 to bring up 4. On this day, the ground has been his, but at least on that individual play, we just saw the defense finally with a win.
Yeah, they finally got one, and that's a win for them. But all game long, he's seen the holes, and they've been huge for him. Kind of like a baseball hitter in the zone. The ball seems bigger, and he's just whacking it. These guys, they've got it going today.
And he deserves a bronze leg as he gets this one away. And a great job on special teams to down him as this will be marked out inside the 5-yard line. Now, if you're a fan of punting, this game's for you. He's been out there quite a bit. That one maybe his best yet.
Yeah, he certainly got his leg loose by now. It kind of reminds me of my college football coach, John Majors. He loved the punting game because he liked the positioning, the field position, and he loved to play defense.
On 1st and 10, it's Marino. And it's a short one here, complete to his tight end. And this one will be taken up. They'll spot it right at the 7. The completion good for 3, and it's second down. They run a draw here, and it's second down. And he's going to be taken down shy of the 10, right around the 9-yard line. explosion help leading them to victory. And the defensive guys, they're just saying, hey, put those points up every week. We'll just keep winning.
They will gratefully accept them, won't they? It makes their job that much easier when they're scoring that many points. Allows them to play with a totally different style and a different flow.
So for our visitors, the streak continues as they push their mark to a perfect 12-0 now on the year. And they will head back home next week. Meanwhile, for Jacksonville, this loss cost them in the playoff chase as they fall back to 7-5 on the year. And they'll try to get back to their winning ways next week as they head to Indianapolis to take on the Colts. I'm Brandon Gaudin. Certainly have to thank Charles Davis, my broadcast partner, and our entire crew. We'll catch you next time right here. It's the NFL on EA Sports.